Okay, we are live, Marketa. I will quickly just check. Everybody, thank you so much if you're joining us. I'll just quickly check if we are actually live on both the platform. We are getting live on Instagram and YouTube. And I could see on YouTube we are live. So yes, we are there. And we are looking very beautiful. And then I'll also see on Instagram.
We should tell everyone that we have not arranged the same dressing. That's always a coincidence. So yeah, so
And
the
it
red,
has
the
happened.
Christmas red, it's following the same mindset.
And it has happened with us like I don't know how many times. I think
Yeah.
every week it happens with us.
Yeah, great. So we
Okay,
have to
so we
encourage everyone to leave some comments so that we know we are not alone, right?
yes. Uh, okay, all good on YouTube. I could see everybody, like people have started joining us. I could see two or three number is there. On Instagram, I'm not getting any signs. So people, if you have joined us from Instagram, please can you tell us hi, I am from Instagram or something so that I know that you are joining us from Instagram.
Great. Okay, so can we start? Should we
Yes,
start?
so I could see, Makita, we are joined by four people already. So thank you so much for joining us. I will now start with the introduction. But again, I would say one more time thank you because of you guys, the consistent audience, we are today doing our 13th episode of Learner for Life live stream. And that like because you guys have given us so much support, that is the reason we are here today. You could see that it's only me and Marketa today, and we do not have any learner. That is intentionally. First of all, it is festive season, so we thought that okay, we should make it light, like a bit of fun and light, but then also you should gain some knowledge out of it. So, if you know, today's topic is become happier and healthier by the magic of writing. Writing, we are not going to tell you how to write or write a blog or write something corporate. No. Okay, Digvijay is saying he says hello Gunjan and Marketa, how are you? We are good, Digvijay, how are you? Could you please check for us if we are also live on Instagram, Digvijay? Please do that for me, thank you. And yes, so I was talking about our topic, become happier and healthier by the magic of writing. And writing is not something that we are talking about blog writing or essay writing or something corporate. No, this is journaling, this is self authorship, and the topic is chosen by Marketa. So now I would ask Marketa, please tell us why did we choose this topic, and why it is close to your heart.
Right. Thank you, Gunjan. I'm thinking now that we started, I should be looking in the camera. I'm looking straight, right? I just realized that we all had tested this, and yet I have forgot to test where I should be looking when I'm talking to everyone. So here we are. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Digvijay, for being there. We're so glad that you join us. And also, Rahul, thank you also for being there. And whoever is with us, we would love if you let us know that you are there, so we know who our group is here. So before we go deeper in the topic, I wanted to remind you why we are doing these sessions. So Digvijay and also Rahul and many other students were part of a program where we spoke about employability, and we used to meet with all the students every week regularly. And then the program was provided by their institutions where they're studying, and it was something extra that we were doing together to make them more career ready. And we always used to have these weekly sessions which completely lighten up our week. They were not recorded. We were It was very, I would say, private, but it always felt very homely, and it made our time and week better. And then those sessions had to stop because, as I said, it was part of a program, and We, however, didn't want them to stop. We didn't want to stop meeting students regularly and spending time with them and learning from them and with them. So this is why we started these sessions exactly the same hour every week, and it has been 13 times, as Gunjan said, and we are very committed to keep going. So you being here, and we always said, even if we have one student joining us, one person, then it's worth it, and we will keep going. So thank you again for being here, and this is just to remind you why we are doing these sessions. Also, this program is part of, as I mentioned, our company as well, Employability.live. And we generally dive a lot into topics that regard our personal and professional growth. And we have also developed some tools that are should help us and you become more successful. And one of those tools is a personal growth commitment, and whatever we will be discussing today, it's connected to it. So I will get back to it, why and how. But in the meantime, I just again wanted to remind you, why are we here in the first place, and what is it that we will cover. As I said, we hopefully will do more with you. But I also want to mention to you one last thing. It's as Gunjan said, it's a beautiful time. It's a beautiful time between Diwali and Christmas, and very special time. But for me personally, very difficult time, because I've come from Central Europe, from Prague, where some students yesterday lost their lives. So if you maybe Google it, what happened in Prague yesterday, it's pretty bad. So I just want to say that I want us to have beautiful time together, but I also want to acknowledge that we can't take things for granted. We never know what happens the next day. So thank you for spending this time with us, and just maybe leave a thought to the families of those students who can't be around anymore. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Makita. I actually wanted to. I saw that news yesterday in the evening, and I thought of sending a one message to all our prac team. And I in fact sent message to Anna as well, because I was chatting to her, but then no reply. I wanted to check if all our team is safe and good. But yes, like you said, 1 minute for the people who really struggled with that news. So yes, coming on the topic back, we are talking about journaling, self authorship. So, Makita, what is self authorship? And in today's session, what people will learn? Could you please tell us, like,
Mhm,
in a small
mhm,
way?
mhm. So, so if you Google the word self-authorship, you will probably come across three names. I actually wrote them down. They are clinical psychologists and also researchers. They are PhD Phil, Higgins, and Peterson, and they have studied a lot and researched the influence on our personal growth and commitment. How does writing things down, like the physical act of writing, how that can improve our well-being, mentally and also physically. So if you particularly use this literally term self-authorship, you will find a lot of research on that topic under this particular term right there. But obviously you will do better research yourself when you dive in the topic. But generally we also said, let's speak about why we should be writing things down on a general note. And when I was researching the topic a little bit more, I have realized that I came across a study that says that we have up to 6,000 thoughts at every day, which is absolutely scary number. And then I thought, some of us, we think we are overthinking. Well, it seems like all of us are overthinkers, because just this number 6,000 seems to me just completely huge. And even if it was just 1,000, it's still quite scary. So when you realize under what literally physical pressure your brain is every day, thinking 6,000 things, then of course, if you go somewhere and you forgot something, since you didn't write it down, I mean, no wonder. So a power of writing, obviously, if nothing else, it's definitely a form of release. It's something that and we can go into also how it can serve us given the time of the year when we have tendencies to reflect and plan forward, how that can help us goals wise. We can talk about it more, but to start with, I just really want to talk a little bit about how it literally gives you a release. So if let's say you have been dealing with something, and again, there are psychologists, researchers that will do better job diving into those statistics, into how just writing things down can help you even in the future, just sort of look through what has happened to you in the past. When you go to the gym, you know that through exercise you release a lot of hormones, you release a lot of energy, and then you feel better. You basically, during the writing, when you just physically put what is happening in your brain on paper, then you can even just do this little ritual. If these are, for example, negative thoughts, you can even do that physical ritual of smashing it and throwing it and burning it, and get rid of those bad thoughts physically and sort of clear your mind. So to start with, I just want to say that the magic of writing can be just getting it out of your head. And before I move and go forward, Gunjan, because if you may have other questions, I just want to see who is also with us, and I see also Soon is there. So thank you so much, Soon, for joining us. We are happy. And again, Rahul and Digvijay, thanks for being there.
Thank you, Markita. Yes, so when you said that, okay, right, if it is negative thought or positive thought, right, and then you feel relaxed, it actually works for me. And if you will see, right, just now I have a pen and paper, and also I got this my book, which says affirm. So this is my
Mhm.
affirmation book as well, and I do follow it very seriously. I do it every day. In between, like when I was not well last 2 months, I didn't do that, and then I also saw the repercussion of it. I mean, I was forgetting things. I was not on my to-do list, so I actually saw seeing like, okay, if I'm not writing something, it is not working for me. So I think I am a serious believer of today's topic. Now, going on the second question for you, Magda, we just mentioned that, okay, what is self authorship is. But then you also touched upon very lightly the science behind the self authorship. But then in a layman language, we have Vivek, Rahul, Digvijay, Disha as well. Hi, Disha. So if we want to tell them that, okay, this is how it works. So scientifically, so do you have any code to add on that?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, and also want to say hello to Vivek and Disha. So happy to see you around. And also mention to you, if you know what our topic is, please tell us in the comments whether you also use writing and journaling as a way to remember things, or just to get things out of your system, or plan things, etc. So please let us know whether you are using writing in any way. And to answer Gunjan's question, yes. So as I mentioned, you can sort of look at the data that statistically it's basically measurable, and I always say that every time we speak about magic, there is always some science behind it. So you can look, for example, the authors that I was referring to were measuring retention. And for us in higher education, where we are studying, it has been basically measured that if you write things down, that it's more likely that you will achieve them. That for us in higher education, we look at it from the perspective of, if we will have our students to commit that they will do some activity, or that they will even stay with us as part of our program. For example, that it's I believe the results were that from those who dropped, only 14% were those that did the authoring and didn't drop. So it's a huge proportion of those who actually do the writing, and then are more likely to stay committed and stay on the path, because I really believe it's that physical act of doing it that takes it from just talking versus actually doing, right? So when you actually writing, you're moving your hand, and it's literally you're doing it. You're not just saying, oh, I should. You actually, it's almost like the first step you take. And this is also something that it's so important, that maybe we have a big dream, and if we break it into a smaller piece, then also it then becomes for us more achievable, and it doesn't feel so overwhelming. And if the first step of every dream or plan you have, if the very first step is that you only write it down, then you're already closer to what you wanted. So this is something that you can consider. And as I said, do your research yourself. I very encourage you. These sessions that we do, we are just sort of want to set you on a direction. We will not tell you how to do it, or what to do, whether to believe it or not. We believe you can, as I said, do your own research, whether you believe it has an impact. But what we also can do, like Gunjan or I are happy to share with you how it helped us and how it's helping us, and maybe you will feel inspired to do so too. And then of course we want to hear from you whether writing is helping you, so we can reflect on it.
Thank you, Markita. Uh, I could see here we have Disha. Disha said, I write sometimes whenever it gets too overwhelming. Vivek said, I do journaling usually. And Rahul said, I always think that I would start journaling regularly, but it just can't seem to take the initiative. So Rahul, I think you should start, even if you're writing just one single line saying that, okay, I will be finishing my dinner at 7 o'clock. Just try that simple thing, and it will work for you. So like just Marketa said that you just have to start with one step, one thing at a time. So do it, and then it will eventually become a habit. Now I would go. Marketa, do you want to add on this comment, or I'll go
Yeah,
for the
I'm great. I'm so happy again seeing Disha, seeing Rahul there, and thank you, Rahul, for sharing. I love, and it's a good segue. If that's your next question, actually, Gunjan, what we were saying, that we want to share what made us actually write, because I absolutely love that. I love about Rahul that he always it's so honest, and he always shares what before he shared about how he felt about being on a camera. Now he's sharing how he feels about doing the first step, and I love it because I had also similar hesitations and still do. And Rahul, I have a little tip for you that helped me. So I will share it. So is it Gunjan now good time to share it, or is there some question you had before?
Yes, so I have the relevant question where your tip will be included as well. So the question is, do you have any tool, platform, or resources to recommend where we can do this usual activities, meaning self journaling? So here we want to know your tips.
Here we are. So, Rahul, so I tell you what helped me. So, I always had a tendency or feeling that it would be good to write things down. And I also always felt quite jealous when I saw some, usually girlfriends, that would do really good job of writing even diaries, actually. And I was never really, the person to stuck into that type of habit. And then I would, however, have the tendency. So time to time, I would buy myself some very nice diary and think I will start now. And then later on, I would take the diary and I saw there was just some one line somewhere in the middle and then nothing. But what changed for me personally was that a year and a half ago, I was in Australia, and one of my colleagues, she has gifted me a diary. Very simple. I wish I brought it with me, and maybe I will just take picture of it and share it later. It's just very simple diary with like different colorful lines in there. And because the diary came from my friend, it just had that emotional value to it, and I started writing in it time to time, not on a regular basis, but because I have it connected to my friend, I would never throw it, and I would never ignore it, because every time I see it on my table, I think of her, and I see how nice is it that she gave it to me, this gift. It meant so much to me, especially I was very unwell during that time. So I have such an emotional connection to that, that it really helps me to time to time write some notes in it. And the second tool that helps me, that I use now quite few years now. So one thing I always had a problem with the actual physical diary is that it's physical. So I have to carry it, and it's kind of like something that you have to have on you. And sometimes you just want to walk in, and especially these days, like you only carry your phone if anything, and then you don't even carry bags because you can pay with your phone and do everything. But I started using on Google these power like Google Slides. So it's basically a PowerPoint that I can access through my Gmail anytime from anywhere. And somehow, for whatever reason, I started using PowerPoint as sort of my like vision board, and I would put my notes in there. And what I liked about it is the fact that I have it, as I said, accessible anytime from anywhere. So every time I want to get reminded of something I thought about or dreamed about or planned, I can access it anytime from anywhere. So as of online tool, and then there is one more tool I'm using for like sort of daily tasks, daily notes, and that is called Evernote. There is a free version of it as well. And I know there are millions or different tools, where you can take notes. There are these sticker notes on your computer, and also sometimes use these simple notes, as I said, those apps that are there for free. But as I said, for me personally, a diary from a friend and Google Slides and Evernote is something that works. What about you, Gunjan? We saw your we saw your blog. You have any online tool?
No, so I use this iPhone, and iPhone has a note section along with the reminder as well. So I actually started doing it for the next year, preparing for 2024, meaning that okay, in the month of June I have this thing, so I've made a reminder as well. I'll get alarm, so I started setting it up. But apart from that, my diary, I actually, okay, this is me, very I don't know, people will call it crazy or what. So I choose my diary accordingly, so that it is like a very small diary. And my husband always keep on saying me that why do you want to carry this? If we go to cafe, I always have that in my pocket. It's a very small diary. In India, it is available for like five rupees or so. So a very cheap diary, which is like, you get it anywhere, like on thelas, what we call in India. So I bought it from there, and I was like, okay, it is accessible. I can put it in my pocket. Take it. My husband says that you're crazy. You shouldn't taking that. You have phone. We are into technology, this and that. But then I don't know. Every year I choose that sort of stuff, because I think diary works best for me. And I feel that if it is like, okay, if I'm typing something and I am writing something, it has a huge difference. Typing, I do not get that sense of, okay, I'm putting something on the paper. But when I write something, like I'm penning down something, it gives me different sort of feeling, and I feel more committed when I write something than type. So this is something, my personal perspective.
So the science is working on you, Gunjan. You are feeling committed when you write things down, because this is what the science says. So you're like the living proof. Huh?
Yes, and I also, uh, committed is one thing, and I also keep, like, I remind, get reminders. It's like if I'm writing something, I know that okay, I will remember it. And even like, so that's what I do for the meetings as well, because I know we do 7 or 8 meetings a day, and you will not going to get everything in your mind. But then if I'm gonna write, even scribbling it, and then if somebody is asking me, I was like, just give me a minute, I'll just see that, and then I come back on the question. So I think it really works for me, and this is something. Like I said, I do follow every day and night. Coming on the next question, Marketa, uh, we are nearing towards, like I also touched upon it, nearing towards 2024. People already have started planning for it. So, journaling and planning for the next year, how do we do that? Do you have any tips for us? So how did you do that for yourself? Like, have you started
Hmm.
planning for yourself? If yes, what do you do so that we can also follow? So please tell us about that.
Hmm. So I also find myself as an exhibit A of procrastinator and someone who just thinks about doing things and then actually start doing it. It takes me a lot of time. But what is intriguing for me is when I read that also when you journal, when you write things down, it will make you more present and more focused. And this is something that my aim is to be more present and more focused. So what helps when you actually planning to start writing down? I think not to have any crazy idea that it needs to look a certain way, that only if I do it every Monday, that's where it makes sense. I think it's firstly very important that you find what works for you, that you should not be comparing yourself and say, oh, only if I do it like this person, then that's a meaningful journaling. No, it's not true. Like the meaningful journaling is the one that you have set for yourself, that you created for yourself, whether you are using a paper or whether you're using some online tool or your phone. Same, whether you're doing it daily or weekly, or whether you do it just when you feel like doing it, that's all fine. One great thing is that, as I said, it will have rewards. It will have rewards if it is sort of that releasing thing. It will have that when you can just throw it and burn it. It will have that reward of you will feel better. If you actually will write so that it works better for your future planning, also even looking back or what you have written as and Gunjan will give you some great tips about what to write down. I really like it. Then it will actually help you look back and see, oh, see, things were not as bad as I thought. There were some good things that were happening to me in the past. So it's actually quite nice memory lane sort of situation, that you will actually look back and you say, oh, I wrote this for myself, that was great. Or you kind of see your past self. You almost look in, oh, like Rahul, like you would look, oh, this is what me, Rahul, wrote to my future Rahul. And you sort of start talking to yourself and have this quite interesting relationship with your past self and with your future self. So just think that that writing you do to support you. So you write to Rahul. My auntie yesterday actually told me that she went to some workshop where they have been told to write to themselves and that they will send them the letter in a year and a half. And my auntie said that she's done it. And then she came home and she received a letter and it was her handwriting. And she said, like, what is this? It's my handwriting. She completely forgot about it. And she wrote there to herself that she wishes good health for herself. She wishes things for her family to happen, and she was very surprised that lots of those things actually happen. So it's extremely powerful tool that you can do. You can almost address your future self. And as for writing particular goals, as Gunjan was asking, again, you can use, there are different techniques. It has been again, the authors that I was referring to, they refer to be as specific as you can. Dream as far as you can, but always dream about how you want to feel when you achieve those things. It's very important that you connect that to emotions, though those are very powerful information in your body that you should also listen to and be aware of. So you can obviously use, you have heard that million times from us, those SMART goals, right? That are specific, that are measurable, attainable, time bound, etc., etc. So you can also, and realistic, but there we could also sort of debate, because as I said, I just said dream big, but I wouldn't say dream big, dream specific. So ask yourself, why is it that you want to achieve that? There are also this technique called 3 whys. You can also again Google it, and I always like rather prefer that you do your own research and digging into it and me telling you what you should do. But for me personally, it works like wherever it feels right, I just write. I don't set give myself some strict rules so that then I feel bad I haven't done it. But I promise you, it's a nice thing to look back and sort of see, oh, okay, there are some nice things that happened to me, I forgot. So it's a nice sort of reminder, almost like when you look through your Instagram and you see, oh, I've been there, that was nice, I've experienced that. So it works in a similar way. Yeah.
Thank you, Markita. Do you want to also announce what we discussed before the call about
Yes.
giving something? So, and then after that, I will just summarize how we should be writing because we are already on time.
Okay, great. I see we have still Rahul and Disha with us, and Vivek also said he does journaling. That is great. Disha said she has many diaries, but they are empty. Sometimes I give them to my father. Disha, I completely understand. And yeah, great stuff giving them to your father. Rahul, it would be nice to recall old memories. Yes, yes, see, Rahul. So as long as you find there's something for yourself, what makes sense most to you, then it's great. And then you achieved then we achieved something here together, and that would be great. So on that note, we were saying that uh, having maybe a diary that has been given to you by someone could mean more to you and motivate you more. So Gunjan and I were thinking that we could actually gift you a diary if you want it, if you think it would help you. So for that, if you write to us on Instagram or YouTube, or if you just write to us and say, okay, I believe that if I get a diary from Marketa and Gunjan, it will keep me more motivated, then we will get your diary to help you with that step. But I see that Disha, she has already lots of diaries. But Disha, we are happy to get you diary so you can then give it to your father as well. So take it as that. So if you want to give our diary to your father and you write us, that we will do it for you. So that's just on that note. Gunshan, over to you.
Thank you so much, Makita. And I could see the first comment from Rahul. He said, I was thinking of the same thing just now. So, Rahul, Disha, Vivek, Digvijay, Soon, and okay, so this many comments I could see. If you wanted diary, please feel free to comment yes, 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 or say why and how are you going to use it. And I have your addresses already. I'm going to make sure that you have your diaries. And now I wanted to like we mentioned that how we should be journaling about your next year, meaning 2024. So then what you should be writing in that journal. So I have some notes what I do for myself, and then I wanted to tell you. So write something that made you happy in 2023, so that you have that as a note that okay, you did something and then you were happy, and something you're grateful for, something that you're very thankful for. So please write that as well. Something that you're stuck at and you wanted to work on it again in 2024. So write that one thing or two thing or three thing, I don't know how many. And then something that upsets you or bother you, because if you will be writing that now, in 2024 you will have a note that okay, this is not working for you, and then you will revisit and then you will work on it. It happens naturally, so write that part as well. And then something that you want to achieve, maybe like you want to complete your masters, you want to get into a job, you wanted a job of that particular salary, something like that. So give yourself that sort of comment. And then how do you want to plan that whole thing? So whatever you have written, you're happy, you're upset, you're bothered, something is not working, you're stuck. So then what you're going to work for that particular thing so that it will work in 2024, something like that I plan for myself. And this is a rough planning I want to share with you as well. Try this. I think if you're writing five things, at least two will happen for you in the next year for sure, if you're working on it. So this is something I wanted to share. And this is 34 minutes. We are already 4 minutes ahead of our time. Next Friday, We will be coming again like this, like we two as a duo. And then next Friday's topic is Ask Us Anything. And I'm going to create a post on our LinkedIn group on Instagram. So start putting your questions there, and then Margita or I will be answering your questions. So this is something why we are coming actually, because we wanted to see you first of all. Secondly, if you have any questions regarding anything, like your career advice, your personal life, of course we are not going to give you like very specific advice, but something that you want to share, and then we can give you some generic advice. So just feel free to put your questions and we will be answering that. Margita, do you want to add anything here?
Thank you, Gunjan. Yeah, so again, as part of my research for today's topic, I also came across this line that says that writing is also what makes us human. So remember now, everybody started crazy overusing ChatGPT, and then that sort of machine does all the writing for us. So I also want to remind you that that act of writing things down and actually even doing it physically, that is exactly what will also make you different from the machine going forward, and those are the key skills that you should retain, you should practice. And it's same like you go to the gym, you if you actually want to grow muscles, you go to the gym and you exercise, and you should do exactly the same for your brain. So think of writing and reading, and that we can do some session on reading some other time. It's something that will always pay off. It's an investment in your mental and physical health to actually write things down. So I also want to request Kunjan to write the list of recommendations to you then in the caption, because there was a great list. I personally like to write things down I'm grateful for. And today I will definitely write down in my diary that I'm very grateful that I got to see Rahul, Disha, Vivek, Digvijay, Soon, and Gunjan on our session today. And also maybe share the diary that I got from my colleague. And as I said, I encourage you to do the same. If nothing else, you look back and you say, oh, I experienced this. That is something I really want to remember. And going forward, I'm still struggling to commit to everyone that I will start do better planning, but I feel very motivated. So I would love to hear from you what you got from today, if it helped you in any way, if there is anybody who you think this advice or this discussion conversation could help to someone. Please share it with them, and otherwise I will be looking forward seeing you and talking to you again next week. Thank you,
Thanks so
Gunjan.
much, Margita. And on that note, Vivek says, when are you coming to India? We wanna have you here for New Year's.
On the
Uh,
9th, Vivek. And you,
okay.
Gunjan, maybe we have to talk.
Yeah. We have to
Yes.
talk. We will decide and let you know, Vivek. You will anyway get to know if you are coming to India. For now, I will just keep this session here. Want to wish you all Merry Christmas. I'm not wishing you Happy New Year today because I want to see you again next Friday, and then I'm gonna wish you my Happy New Year wishes. And for now, it was really nice talking to you, seeing your yes, yes, yes. I have noted your yes, and then I'm gonna work on that. I could see Digvijay said spamming yes. Vivek, I couldn't see Disha's comments, so I'm assuming that Disha already has a lot of diaries. But yes, I'm. And for now, I am signing off. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.